Hello, Year 10. Welcome to your lesson. We are starting a new topic today, so look forward to. But it's also going to make your head hurt. We're going to have new information, new dates, new names, but similar concept. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But you have been warned. Before we start, I'd like you to make sure that for this lesson you've got a Word document open on your computer or pen and paper to do your work. You should have these resources from Show My Homework, a copy of the textbook, a blank copy of the map, and a copy of the slides if you need them. Before we go on, I would just like to say thank you and well done to the following from 10J: Imran, Wilson, Elliot, Samson, and Ryan. Well done. You've been very consistent and your work has been of a really good quality. So please keep it up. Everybody else, there is still plenty of time and chances for you to earn yourself some extra credits and merit distinctions and a shout out on my lesson. Okay, here we go. This lesson, I'm trying something new. I'm going to give you signs which show how much time potentially you should be spending on a task, and there will be a little red pause button when I want you to pause the video, and I'll be saying nothing else about the slide. Okay, so watch out for these two while you're doing this lesson. Here it is then, our title: Britain, Migration, Empires and the People. New topic: expansion into Africa. I want that title, I want it underlined, and I want the date as well, and I want that underlined too. You have 2 minutes. Pause this video now. So we're thinking about these three questions during the next few lessons. Why did the British expand into Africa? What was the impact of the British expansion on Africa? What was the impact of expansion into Africa on the British Empire? Very similar inquiry questions to the ones we looked at for India. As I said, different content. So, underline this title. This is the start of our first lesson. Why was there expansion into Africa 1850 to 1900? I want you to look at this source. I want you to make a prediction. What do you think this source tells us about Britain's colonisation of Africa and why? Use the sentence starters I have put on there. You've got 2 minutes to do this. Writing your title and underlining it and answering that question. Pause this slide here. Okay, just to get you thinking a bit harder, quick quiz. 3 questions, very quickly. What important decision was made in 1807? Clue on the slide. What impact do you think it had on Britain's empire? And what solution do you think was found to this problem? I'll give you 2 minutes to do that. Pause the video now. Now I want a subheading: Intro, Expansion 1850 to 1900. And you're going to summarise these bullet points in a moment. The answer to that first question: the slave trade is ended in the British Empire in 1807. But this meant that there was a gap in their trade and they needed to make money in a more acceptable way. So they looked to grow palm oil and sell that. It was an important new commodity which needed to help with the Industrial Revolution. And it depended, this Industrial Revolution depended on the supply of raw materials such as palm oil. So now, in your own words, can you say, why did Britain expand into Africa in the 1800s? Very straightforward. 2 minutes or less. Pause the video here. Okay. These are the 3 C's. These are the motives for Britain moving into Africa. They are commerce, Christianity, and civilization. Very simple way to remember it in your exam and for revision. 3 C's: commerce, Christianity, civilization. They are the motives for why Britain moved into Africa. I have 2 tasks. First of all, write down each of these words and say what it means to you. I've included these images to help you thinking about that. Secondly, how do these describe why Britain expanded into Africa? So think about that. Why would commerce, Christianity, and civilization make the British move into Africa? 5 minutes to do this. Hit the pause button. So here we go. A little bit more detail, which you can add to your answers if you haven't already. Britain's motives in Africa: commerce. Britain got more involved in Africa so they could gain more from trade. There was, apart from palm oil, plenty of gold in South Africa, diamonds as well, but also other raw materials that could be mined and could be farmed. Christianity. Missionaries from Britain travelled to Africa to encourage them to become Christians. At this time in the 19th century, there was something of a revival in quite puritanical, hard-lying Christianity, and it bolstered the belief that Britain was the best country in the world, and they believed by converting everyone else in the world to Christianity, they were doing them a service, doing them a favour. Finally, civilization. Many British people thought that Africans would live a better life if they dropped their customs and picked up ones of white cultures. More or less, British people lived in cities, which were advanced technologically because of things like the Industrial Revolution compared to a lot of places in Africa. And when people travelled over to Africa, they saw a huge difference in the way that people in Africa lived and the people in Britain lived. And the people from Britain decided, oh, we must be better than you guys. Wouldn't it be nice if you also had the same lives as us? Tell you what, we can help you if you let us take control, or we'll take control from you, and then we'll help you to become civilized people like us. So there you go. The 3 motives for Britain going to Africa: commerce, Christianity, and civilization. Pause there if you need to add any notes. Thinking a little wider about society at this time, British society, the context, factoring quite high in the motivation for the British going to Africa was the ideas of racial superiority that were around at the time. I've included an image from this period which shows a white European in the middle and all the other ethnicities that were known to this particular illustrator around the Englishman, all sort of looking enviously inwards to that white European. And so I would like you to read these bullet points and answer those 2 questions. Why did Europeans feel more superior, and why did this lead them to taking over Africa? 5 minutes to do that. Pause here and do that. Okay, so you've seen the British and Europeans at large had ideas of racial superiority that were founded on the new ideas of Charles Darwin, who was actually talking about how well species can adapt to their living situations. The racialists this mean that it was survival of the fittest, and anyone who had better technology, etc., was therefore superior to other people who had worse technology, or not as advanced technology, we should say. So why was there expansion into Africa? This first is trade. I want you to finish off this sentence. Commerce encouraged the British to expand into Africa because. Read through the bullet points, finish that sentence. I'll give you 3 minutes. Pause now. Similar task to the last one, but this time missionaries. So I want you to finish this sentence instead. Christianity encouraged the British to expand into Africa because. Read those bullet points, finish off that sentence. 3 minutes again. Pause here. Okay, that's it. Take a break. Go and get yourself something to drink, something to eat, to give your brain a little rest. Come back in no more than 5 minutes, please. Or if you are sharing a computer or something like that, maybe now is a chance to pass it over so you can do something else. And come back to do the second video when you can. All right. Bye.